Let's talk about the big 50. For a lot of men, hitting that age feels like hitting a wall. You might start to worry that your best days are behind you, especially when it comes to your sexual health. But let's set the record straight right now. Turning 50 is not the end. In fact, you could be looking at 20, 30, or even 40 more years of active, healthy sexual life. It is about changing the way you look at your body. Instead of seeing it as something breaking down, see it as a machine that needs better maintenance. To help us understand how to do that, we are leaning on the expertise of Dr. Stefan Buntrock. He's a urologist, sexologist, and sports medicine specialist who knows exactly what happens as we age and how we can take control of our biology. To fix a problem, you first have to understand how the system works. An erection isn't just a simple switch. It is a complex process involving muscles, blood vessels, and your nervous system. At the core are the cavernous bodies. These are two chambers in the penis that must fill with blood to create a firm erection. Inside these chambers, you have smooth muscle. For everything to work, this muscle needs to be functional and able to relax. This is where chemistry comes in. Your body uses nitric oxide to tell blood vessels to open up so blood can rush in. Getting blood in is only one part. You also have to keep it there. This is where venous seals come into play. Once blood fills those chambers, the veins need to compress and seal off the exit. If the seal is weak, blood leaks out and the erection fades. All of this is orchestrated by your nervous system and your hormones. You need a healthy balance of androgens, like testosterone, to drive your desire and physical response. You also need your beta receptors to be working. These are sensors on your cells that catch the signals your body sends out. One of the best ways to check your internal system is to pay attention to what happens while you sleep. Most healthy men have several erections during the night, often during the dream phase. These nighttime erections are like a built-in diagnostic test. If you are still getting them, it is a very good sign. It means your blood vessels, nerves, and muscle tissues are likely in decent shape. It shows the plumbing is working, even if things feel different when you're awake. When you were 20, you didn't have to think about any of this. Back then, everything happened automatically. Your body had so much reserve power that it didn't matter if you stayed up late or ate junk food. But as you cross 50, that cushion starts to disappear. The quality of your erections might change. They might not be as rock solid or might take more time. This is the aging shift. It is natural, but it is not something you just have to accept. There are two primary strategies to fight back. The first is to stop doing the things that act as accelerators, the bad habits that push you toward decline. The second is to use physical activity to rebuild your potential. Movement is the fuel that keeps your engine from rusting. Before we continue into the specific training protocols that can turn things around, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. Even after 50, your body has a huge ability to adapt. Your blood vessels can become more efficient if you give them the right instructions. Understanding the mechanics is just the first step, but taking action is what actually changes your future. You have many years of vitality ahead of you if you start making the right moves today. It is never too late to start investing in yourself and your long-term health. Your journey starts right here. Now that you understand the biology, it is time to talk about the real-world solution. Movement is the ultimate anti-aging tool. Our bodies are designed for action. For thousands of years, humans survived because they could move, hunt, and travel. Today, we sit too much, and that is a disaster for your sexual health. When you choose to exercise, you're maximizing your genetic potential. You are essentially telling your body that it still needs to be functional and strong. This isn't just about looking good in the mirror. It is about keeping your internal systems running at their peak performance. This slows down the natural decline that comes with aging. There's also a major benefit if you use medications like PDE5 inhibitors. These pills work by helping your blood vessels relax. If your vessels are stiff because you don't move, the medication has a harder time working properly. By staying active, you create a synergy. Your exercise makes the medication more effective, and the medicine helps you maintain performance. It is a win-win for any man over 50. So, what does this specific protocol look like? Dr. Stefan Buntrock recommends a clear cardiovascular prescription. You should move 5 times every single week. This doesn't mean you have to run a marathon. The duration is the key. You need at least 30 consecutive minutes of active movement per session. Keep your heart rate up for a steady period. It keeps your system primed and ready for whenever the moment arises. Pick activities you enjoy at a moderate pace. Think about things like briskly walking, skating, or swimming. These are low impact but highly effective for your heart and healthy blood vessels. There's also the golf rule. If you play golf, you might think you're getting exercise, but if you are sitting in a cart, you are missing out. Ditch the electric carts and the electro mumbo jumbo. Walk the course. Use your own power to move. Those extra steps are exactly what your body needs to keep the blood flowing where it matters. Cardio is just one half of the puzzle. The other half is strength and resistance training at the gym. You should be hitting the gym 2 or 3 times a week. When you're there, Don't waste time on small, isolated exercises. Focus on complex compound movements. These are things like squats, deadlifts, and pull-ups. These moves activate the largest muscle groups in your body. When you work your legs, back, and core, you send a signal to your system to maintain muscle mass and bone density. This has a direct link to your overall male health and hormonal balance. If you haven't been in a gym for years, or if you have physical limitations, don't just wing it. Seek out professional supervision. A good trainer can help you adapt these movements so you get the benefits without getting hurt. The goal is to build a foundation of strength that supports your circulation and your physical and mental stamina. Finally, we have to talk about the pelvic floor. This is a group of muscles that many men ignore until there's a problem. These muscles play a vital role in maintaining the blood trap during an erection. They help keep the pressure inside the cavernous bodies so the erection stays firm. However, there is a nuance here that is often overlooked. Most men think they just need to make these muscles stronger, but that isn't always the case. Sometimes, the pelvic floor can become too tight or hyperactive. If the muscles are always clenched, they can actually restrict blood flow and lead to pain or dysfunction. This is why it is so important to have a professional examination before you start heavy pelvic training. You need to know if you're dealing with a muscle that is weak or a muscle that is simply too tense. Understanding this balance is a key part of the physical protocol that keeps you functional and effective for the long term. While physical activity is the engine that drives your recovery, your daily lifestyle choices provide the fuel that keeps that engine running. To truly maximize your potential after you pass 50, you need to follow 5 essential rules for longevity. Rule number 1 is the most important. You have to stop smoking. Smoking is the primary vascular killer. When you smoke, you are throwing chemicals into your bloodstream that damage the inner lining of your arteries. Over time, these vessels become stiff and narrow. This makes it very hard for blood to flow to the places where you need it most. If the blood cannot reach the cavernous bodies, you will struggle to maintain an erection. Even cutting back is not enough. Your goal should be to quit entirely to give your vessels a real chance to heal and recover. Rule number 2 is about alcohol. You do not have to become a monk, but you must keep your drinking minimal. Alcohol is a depressant that slows down your nervous system and interferes with the signals your brain sends to your body when you're aroused. Heavy drinking can damage your liver and your nerves. A healthy liver is necessary for processing hormones like testosterone, and your nerves are what carry the message of desire to your physical systems. Keep the drinks for special occasions and stay hydrated. Rule number 3 is managing your weight. Aim for a healthy body weight. Carrying extra weight, especially around your middle, is a big problem. This belly fat produces hormones that work against you. It can lower your testosterone and increase inflammation in your blood vessels. When you lose that weight, you often find that your energy levels and your sexual drive naturally start to climb back up. Rule number 4 is all about what you eat. Focus on eating lots of vegetables and keeping your meat intake low. Vegetables help your blood vessels stay flexible. They help your body produce nitric oxide, which tells your muscles to relax so blood can flow in. Limit red meat and processed foods, which can clog your arteries with cholesterol. A cleaner diet means a cleaner circulatory system and better performance. Rule number 5 is sleep hygiene. This is your foundation. When you are asleep, your body repairs itself and builds up your hormone levels. If you're constantly tired and only getting a few hours of rest, your testosterone levels will drop. You will feel stressed and irritable, which is the opposite of how you want to feel. Make sleep a priority and get 7 or 8 hours of rest every night. You also need to be aware of the erection killers. These are chronic diseases like high blood pressure and atherosclerosis. About 80% of men with these troubles are actually dealing with a physical health issue. High blood pressure damages small blood vessels long before you feel any other symptoms. Diabetes is another major threat. It attacks your nerves and your blood flow at the same time. If you have high blood sugar, it can lead to nerve damage that makes it harder to feel anything. Sometimes the medications you take for these issues can also cause problems. Certain drugs for blood pressure or hair loss have side effects that impact your performance. If you notice a change, do not just stop taking your medicine. Talk to a professional. There are often different versions of these drugs that work well without interfering with your life. It is hard to stay motivated, but think about the age perception trick. When you take care of yourself, you often look and feel younger than the age on your birth certificate. This gives you a massive boost in confidence. You feel better, you move better, and you perform better. Do not wait until you have a problem to start. Set your goals today. Every small choice adds up. You have the potential for many years of healthy living. Take charge of your health right now and secure your future.